Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome back to Margot-Yonkers Stadium for the second day in a row for more high school softball action on the campus of CMU. And what a matchup we have for you today. Go back to late February, early March when I was looking at high school baseball and softball schedules. There was a couple games in particular that I had circled. You go back to supposed to be early April, although it was not able to happen with the Beal City Aggies and Sacred Heart Academy baseball. This was the other game that I had circled. May 28th, the Beal City Aggies, the Clare Pioneers softball action at CMU. And this game, well, it is now living up to the hype. Two teams that have 30 wins are matching up in the regular season. I don't think that has happened a whole lot of times through MHSAA history, as you have 30-1 Clare and 30-6 Beal City. Woo, what a matchup this is going to be. Clare will be the home team. Beal City will be the away team here in game number one, and we're only calling game number one. And over at Tennyson Stadium, you have got Clare Beal City baseball happening as well, and so some fantastic matchups. If I have a chance, I will make it over there, post some highlights of that one after this one. But it's 30-1 Clare, 30-6 Beal City. What a matchup this is going to be. It is the Woods Household pregame show. We're going to take a break here from our friends at ENS Graphics and Clark Modular Homes. When we come back, we're going to talk about the dynamite lineups of these two squads. It's Clare. It's Beal City. Softball action at Margot-Yonkers Stadium coming right up here in just a moment on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We'll be back right after this. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to our Woods Household pregame show here at Margot-Yonkers Stadium at CMU, getting ready for the Clare Pioneers and the Beal City Aggies. Two teams gearing up for what will hopefully be long playoff runs for each. But don't tell Everett that I said that about Clare. Don't tell Vesterberg and Sacred Heart Academy that I said that about Beal City, as both of these teams will play in absolutely loaded districts next week. Concerning Division III, with Clare and Everett, it's literally the number 1 and number 2 teams will most likely meet up in a district semifinal. Everett will have to win a game before that can happen. When it comes to Beal City, well, Vesterberg's going to have to win a game. If they get by their opening opponent, they will take on Beal City. If Beal City wins that game, I think it's Coleman on the other side of the bracket with Sacred Academy. The Irish have already bested them twice, and so the districts these two teams are going to have to play in next week are going to be absolutely loaded, and that's why they wanted to play each other late in the season to get ready for those districts. 30-1 Clare. We'll go through that lineup first and also talk about where they're going to be in the field, as they will be on defense at first. Alyssa Brandon will lead things off. She plays second base. Addie McMillan will be batting second. She plays in center field. Tessa Kelly is batting third. She'll be playing shortstop. Maddie Jones will be in the circle. She bats cleanup. Pam Allen will be playing third base, batting fifth. Batting sixth, playing first base, will be Morgan Campbell. Batting seventh, playing the DH, will be Breeze Yarger. Batting eighth will be the catcher, Savannah Buzelli. Batting ninth, essentially a second leadoff hitter, and Kylie Wyman. She'll be playing in left field. And the flex player is Olivia Forsberg. She'll be out in right field. Lineup for the Beal City Aggies will be at bat first. Lauren Nakari will lead things off. She's behind the plate for Beal City. Madison Fisher is out in left field. She'll be hitting second. Emma Block will be hitting third. She plays first base. Emily Taylor plays shortstop. She'll be batting in the cleanup spot. Dakota Dodak plays out in center field. She'll be batting fifth. Macy Johnston will be in the circle. She'll be batting sixth. Macy McKinney plays second base. She'll be batting seventh. Addison Sanders playing at third base will be batting eighth. And then batting in the ninth spot will be Lauren Gross. The meeting of the minds right now looks like the whole entire team is out there for both of those schools. Pretty darn cool. We're going to take one break, and then we're going to come back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and we'll get ready for first pitch. Beal City, Clare, 2 30-win teams playing here at Margot Yonker Stadium. Back with more right after this.
Elevate your banking experience. Isabella Bank is your local banking partner. We understand the importance of personalized service, providing solutions that fit your unique needs. When you bank with us, together we can drive positive change and build stronger communities. Experience banking redefined. Make the switch today and experience banking that goes beyond. Isabella Bank. Local. Growing. Staying. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Bryant Family Farms would like to wish everyone good luck on the field and on the court. Bryant Family Farms offers maple syrup, mums, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh cut flowers. With you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Fleeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to that action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Meeting of the minds still happening right now. Both teams out there at home plate having things discussed by the umpires and the coaches, and maybe a couple different rules here, a couple things different with the field. Again, I am not going to say that I'm any type of softball expert, learning a whole lot this spring about baseball and high school softball, but we are just about ready to go. The coaches now talking with the umpires out there. It's the Woods Household pregame show. We always talk to you about the best seat in the house, brought to you by Woods Household Appliance in Clare. Well, and as those umpires out there, we'll have one right behind home plate, and then the other one kind of dances around a little bit. Sometimes they'll be right behind first base. Sometimes they'll be kind of off in between second and third. It's out there to make sure they have the best view that they can to make the correct call. That is why they got the best seat in the house, brought to you by Woods Household Appliance, and more officials are needed. Head to MHSAA.com and click on the Be the Referee tab to get started to become an MHSAA official. It's not a bad way to make a little extra dough and stay involved in the high school games that we know and love. I'll say it again, 2 30-win teams matching up in the regular season does not happen very often. The Clare Pioneers come in at 30-1. Their only loss to Division II Petoskey. Beal City comes in at 30-6. They lost one to Everett. They lost one to Leroy Pine River. I think other than that, all their losses are to much bigger schools. We're set for action here at Margot Yonker Stadium. Thanks so much for tuning in to our Woods Household pregame show, coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. More love going out to Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, The Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant, Clark Modular Homes, along with Weefrich Financial and Woods Households. Yeah, a little accidental press of the button there, but yeah, we'll say that little nice sounder going out to our friends at Weefrich Financial, sponsor of this 8 Bachelor Baller of the Game, and Woods Household Appliance. Maddie Jones will be in the circle for the Clare Pioneers. Battle-tested pitcher. She will be pitching at the next level. She'll be going up against Lauren Licari, the seniors, all-conference last year. Might have been all teams, second team All-State as a catcher as well. These lineups that we have for both of these teams, 1 through 9, are absolutely loaded. So it's funny to think that your 8 and 9s, Addison Sanders, Lauren Groves for Beal, and then it's Savannah Buzelli and Kylie Wyman for Clare. Some youngsters on different teams, different years, will probably be leading things off or hitting in the cleanup spot. Stepping in is Lauren Licari, batting from the right side. The catcher for Beal City will lead things off here. Quick high fives from everybody all around. Campbell and Brandon at first base. Over at third and shortstop, you've got Pam Allen and Tessa Kelly. Behind the plate, it's Buselli. In the circle, Maddie Jones. Out in left field, Kylie Wyman. Out in right, Olivia Forsberg. Out in center field, Addie McMillan. At the plate, Lauren Licari. Here we go. 30-1, Beal City. 30-6, Beal City. 30-1, Clare. First pitch is going to miss inside to Lauren Licari, 1-0. And Jake Johnston, Shane Kelly know each other very well. A lot of these girls play together a whole lot. Lauren Licari's got to line this one right up the middle for a base hit. A great way to start for the Lady Aggies. Here comes Madison Fisher. And there is one big bat missing in the lineup for Beal City. Ariana Brown is injured. She is hoping to be back for district play for Beal City, but most of the year she's been hitting in the 3 spot and the 4 spot. Again, that is a big-time bat missing for the Lady Aggies that they hope to have back for the playoffs. Madison Fisher stepping in, batting in the number 2 spot. She'll take the first pitch down the middle for a strike. And Lauren Licari took the first pitch ball, second pitch, lined it right up the middle. Showing bunt is Fisher. Not into, she doesn't get the bunt down, and the throw is going to be in time to nab the pinch runner for Licari out at second base. It was a bunt and run. It's an excellent pitch from Maddie Jones in the circle to not allow the bunt to get down, and a fantastic throw from Buzelli behind the plate to nab the speedy runner down at second base. So with one out, there's nobody on here despite the one hit for Beal City. Fantastic throw from Buzelli behind the dish. Fisher's going to pop this one out towards third base. And so what started like could be trouble first. Leadoff hitter gets on. After that, not a happening. Stepping in now, batting from the left side, is Emma Block. Actually, as I say that, that looks like Emily Taylor out there. I'm going to have to give a little guff here. Coach Jake Johnston possibly getting my lineup a little goofed up here. So I imagine Taylor and Block are going to switch around. That's the problem with getting things from the coach the night before. Had a little change of heart. Here comes the next pitch. That's going to miss 1-1 the count. It does look like we have Block on deck. Jones ready with the 1-1. Taylor's going to foul this one off. 1-2 now the count. Emily Taylor, the shortstop for Beal City. She is the single-season all-time home runs leader for the Lady Aggies. That one's going to miss. 2-2 now the count. Taylor wearing number 7. Both teams in the all-black today. Blue lettering with the white outline for the Aggies. Green lettering with the white outline for the Pioneers. Here comes a hit up the middle. Kelly does a good job knocking it down. The throw is in time to first base. And so it started out with a hit right up the middle for Lauren Licari. She gets nabbed trying to go to second base. Nothing happening for the Aggies in the top half of the first inning. Due up for the Lady Pioneers, it's Alyssa Brandon, Addie McMillan, and Tessa Kelly to face Macy Johnston. Back with more Aggie and Pioneer softball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com, visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant, call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. First pitch from Macy Johnston is going to be outside to Alyssa Brandon. Last time we saw Alyssa Brandon, she had, we'll go the Gates Drilling and Service Mumford Oil and Gas Supply Drill of the Year. Shout out to Webb Brothers Sawmill Timber the game as well, as she almost hit one if there wasn't a netting on top of the turf room in Clare. Little flubber is going to go out to shortstop. Charging in is Emily Taylor, and she'll make the play. So Brandon goes down on the second pitch. The ground out to the shortstop. Nice job charging in by Emily Taylor. You got a lot of speed there with Alyssa Brandon. Just can't let her run that out. Speaking of speed, stepping to the batter's box on the right side is going to be Addie McMillan. Comes the first pitch of the at-bat to McMillan to be on the outside corner for a strike. Tessa Kelly on deck. Behind her, Maddie Jones, due up, brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance, a Weefridge Financial, and a GNS Mechanical. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Taking a little bit off of that one was Macy Johnston. Had a great time. 0-2 now the count to McMillan. Baseball going on as well over at Tennyson Stadium. Give you some updates from there as well as things go on. Another swing and a miss, strikeout for Macy Johnston as she pulls the string on back-to-back pitches, fooling Addie McMillan. Here comes Tessa Kelly, two out, nobody on. Kelly batting from the right side, the all-sports star for the Pioneers. First one's going to miss. It's going to go to the backstop. If there's a time you want to let one get away from you, it is in the situation with nobody on base. 1-0 now the count to Kelly. Johnston readies, deals the 1-0. This one's going to be fouled off to the backstop. Maddie Jones on deck, hoping she gets an opportunity with Kelly on base. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Beal City 0, Clare 0 here at Margot Yonker Stadium on the campus of Central Michigan University. Both these teams getting ready for playoff action next week have already reached 30 wins on the year. Another wonderful pitch by Macy Johnston as she pulls the string on it. Kelly's way out in front, 1-2 now the count. Johnston has the breaking ball working that well. She could be tough to deal with in the circle today. Next pitch, it will be a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts against excellent hitters for Macy Johnston. We're headed to the top of the second inning. We are scoreless. This is one of those games you expected it to be 14-13, 12-10. Maybe we'll end up having a pitcher's duel like we did yesterday. Due up for Beal City, brought to you by J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Weber Brothers Sawmill, and Konwinski Construction. It's Emma Block, Dakota Dodek, and Macy Johnston back with more Aggie Pioneer softball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network in our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Working quickly, a little quicker than yesterday. Are the umpires out there? Already the second pitch of the at-bat to Emma Block. It misses. 2-0 is the count. Block batting in the cleanup spot for the Lady Aggies. That one's going to be on the outside corner for a strike. And do have an update coming from our main man, Nate Batchelder, who's over at Tennyson Stadium watching the Clare Beal City boys. Ryan Batchelder, the bat boy for the Aggies this year. Block's going to crank this one down the left field line. It's going to go foul. That'll send the count to 2-2. So 1-0 heading to the bottom of the first inning. Beal City up over on the baseball diamond. We'll continue to keep you updated there. We're still scoreless here in the top of the second inning. It's 2-2 count with nobody out to Emma Block. Buselli behind the dish has already thrown out one runner in the first. That one's going to miss outside 3-2. Trying to get Block to chase on that outside pitch. Dakota Dodak, the center fielder for Beal City, is on deck. You hear me say it a bunch of times. Both of these teams have already won 30 games. It's not been a whole lot of times that you've had two teams match up in the regular season with 30 wins. Block goes down on strikes. Big time pitch there from Kylie Wyman. Yeah, 30-1 Clare, 30-6 Beal City. We're scoreless. Top of the second inning. One out. Dodak now at the plate. First pitch from Maddie Jones is going to miss outside. And these two pitchers, Macy Johnston and Maddie Jones, they've both played in games where they've given up 6-7 runs and their teams have came back and won. So neither of them are going to be afraid to go after these batters no matter what the score is. That one's going to miss. 2-0 now, the count to Dodak. Center fielder steps back in on the right side. Waves the bat over the back right shoulder. That one's on the inside corner. 2-1. Excellent location there from Wyman. Macy Johnston, the pitching counterpart, is on deck. She struck out 2 in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 the count. Big swing and a miss that time from Dodak. Jones steps back out of the circle, to the back of it, I should say. Now steps to the rubber in the middle, gets ready to zip it to Buselli behind the plate. Dodak's going to go down on strikes. It's in the dirt, but it's a quick throw down to first base. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Maddie Jones. Macy Johnson now heading to the plate. And that's the dangerous thing with both these teams. You think 6, 7, 8, 9? Nope, nothing easy here with Johnston, McKinney, Addison Sanders, and Lauren Gross to round out the lineup. Johnston batting from the right side. She's going to line this one out towards center field. Tracking back is McMillan. She's able to make the catch on the run. A fantastic play by Addie McMillan. If she doesn't get a good jump out there at center field, I don't think she's going to be able to bring that one in. You're listening to high school softball, the 30-win Beal City Aggies versus the 30-win Clare Pioneers here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. In our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. We'll keep it right here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Pioneers, brought to you by JJ Painting and Martinez Lawn Care, along with Central Michigan Sand and Gravel and Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Brady Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. We've got Maddie Jones, Pam Allen, and Morgan Campbell. I also like to thank Block Electric, The Diner, All Seasons Fireworks, Bryant Family Farms, Pier Plumbing, Isabella Bank, and the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, hanging by a thread. Bottom of the first inning for Clare. It was a ground out to the shortstop for Alyssa Brandon, then a 3-pitch strikeout for Addie McMillan, and a 4-pitch strikeout for Tessa Kelly. And I'm no pitching expert. You'll hear me use terms like breaking ball, pulling the string on it. Took a little bit off of that one. Macy Johnston, though, had the Clare pitchers fooled in that first inning. This one's going to bounce up there to Maddie Jones. And Maddie Jones, Macy Johnston are two youngsters that the amount of times that they've pitched to each other and faced each other, whether it's in practice or some travel ball, is probably at least in the double digits. That one will miss low to Jones. 2-0 now the count. Pam Allen, who plays third base, is on deck. This one's going to be pop foul out of play. Two and one the count. Here comes the pitch from Johnston. Again, she pulls the string on it, and Jones is way out in front. Count is now 2-2. Johnston winds and deals. This one's going to be popped. It's going to be fouled out of play. Another update. Clare, Beal City baseball. It's the bottom of the first inning. Louch is at first base with Arthur at the plate. The Aggies lead it 1-0. There's one out in the bottom of the first inning over at Tennyson Stadium. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning. Clare at the plate, 2-2 count with nobody out. Trying to get Jones to chase is Macy Johnston. It's going to bounce up there. This will now be pitch number 7 of the at-bat here. The two pitchers battling it out here. Johnston, just moments ago, facing Jones herself, flew out to center field. Here comes the 3-2. This one's going to be roped out to right field, tracking back. It's going to get down. It's going to get over the wall for a ground rule double, and that's a really good thing that it went over the wall for Beal City, because I think Maddie Jones was at least going to be at third base on that one. Depending on the bounce that it took out there in right field for Lauren Gross, it could have been an in-the-park home run, but an absolute blast there for Maddie Jones on pitch number 7 of her at-bat. What a fantastic at-bat there from Jones. Pam Allen stepping to the plate. Would not be surprised to see a bunt here with that runner at second base. She doesn't show bunt there on the first pitch. Lakari does a great job with the pitch in the dirt. She keeps it in front of her, forcing Jones to stay at second base. No pinch runner coming in for Jones as there's nobody out. Here comes the 1-0. This time Allen does show bunt. It's over for a strike, although she either pulled it back or missed it, and it was over for a strike anyway. Count now 1-1. Johnston working quickly. Winds and deals. That one's going to bounce away from Lakari. Trotting up to third base will be Maddie Jones. Fantastic base running from the senior pitcher for Clare. Now if you're Pam Allen at the plate, high fly ball to the outfield can score the speedy Jones, or maybe a ball deep in the infield here. Here comes the 2-1. That's going to be a nice low location for a strike. Count is 2-2 now to Pam Allen. Runner at third is Maddie Jones. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Clare threatening. Swing and a miss. Going down on strikes is Pam Allen. That's already the third strikeout for Macy Johnston. Morgan Campbell now stepping to the plate. And with that runner 90 feet away with 0 outs, if you're Clare, you feel like you got to bring him in. You can't have another strikeout here if you're Campbell. Just going to foul this one down the third baseline. If that would have been fair, that would have scored that run from third. That's all you need right now for the Lady Pioneers. Nothing fancy. You just need to get that run in from third base. And now if you're Johnston and Lakari, you cannot have that pass ball. 0-1. It's going to be fouled. Lakari has to field it, though, so there's no play at home plate. Coming in to score from third is Maddie Jones, and I don't think she meant for it to be, the sacrifice RBI quite like that, but in the Spockman box score, it's going to be a sacrifice RBI for Morgan Campbell. Breeze Yarger now heading to the plate with 2 out and nobody on, but the Pioneers lead it 1-0 after Maddie Jones doubles to right field, goes to third on a pass ball, and scores on the sacrifice RBI dribbler from Morgan Campbell. Grounded towards third, it's going to go foul. It was a solid job of fielding it over there at third base by Addison Sanders, but it would have been a very, very long throw, and Yarger had a good break out of the box as well. Yarger steps back in, batting from the right side. Macy Johnson winds and deals with the 0-1. It's going to bounce in there. It gets away from Lakari. 1-1 now the count. And something they were talking about yesterday, the Sacred Heart Academy Garber coaches, of how tight this infield was, how balls are just going to bounce. And it's something I've noticed. Lakari's had a couple take some nasty hops on her. Here comes the 1-1. This one's going to be fouled to the backstop now, 1-2. 1-0 the score. Pioneers get a run after Maddie Jones leads off the bottom of the second here with a double. She goes to third on a pass ball and comes in on a Morgan Campbell sacrifice RBI. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Johnston with her 4th strikeout through 2. She is really dealing out there, but Maddie Jones was able to get to her on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. It is 1-0 as we head to the third inning. It's Macy McKinney, Addison Sanders, Lauren Gross due up next for Beal City. Coming back with more softball right after this. 30-win Clare ahead 1-0 on 30-win Beal City. Back with more right after this. Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. We are in the top of the third inning. It's 1-0 Clare with the lead, 7-8-9 due up for Beal City. But it's not your normal 7-8-9. Macy McKinney, Addison Sanders, and Lauren Gross due up for the Aggies. 2-0 now the count to McKinney. Younger sister, Owen McKinney, who was the recipient of our Lisa Antcliffe Jan Wander Scholarship, being an all-sports star and just being a class act in and out of the classroom, on and off the field. Once fumbled a little bit over at shortstop, it's going to allow McKinney to be safe at first base. And that's when you look at the box score, that's probably going to be ruled an error, but in the Spockman box score, that is a single for McKinney that hit deep into the hole. It would have been a tough play for Kelly no matter what from the shortstop position. Addison Sanders now stepping up to the dish, playing third base for the Aggies. She's batting from the right side. This one's going to be fouled down the first baseline. Lauren Gross, who's on deck, had a duck out of the way of that one. More love going up to her friends, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, Maury Courts, Martin Ice Arena, and the Maury Gymnastics Center. Barry Funeral Home, Mid-Michigan Industries, a Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, along with Rick's Food Center. They're going to say that one hit Sanders. It didn't look all that close from here, but as you often hear me say, the umpires, they got a much better view than I do, and I don't really see Kelly or anybody coming out of the dugout here. So it will be a free base to Addison Sanders. The Aggies looking to answer back here in the top of the third inning. It's 1-0 Clare, but the first two runners are on for Beal City with Lauren Gross now at the dish. She fouls that first one back to the backstop, 0-1. 1-0 the score here. Clare in the lead, top of the third inning. There's nobody out. Two runners on for Beal City. That one's going to be on the inside corner for a strike, 0-2. And if you're watching, sometimes you see the batters, lean back a little bit, and you wonder, how is that a strike? Well, that's because they're right on top of the plate. 0-2 now the count. Runners at first and second. Lauren Licari on deck. Lauren Gross at the plate. She's going to send this one in between first and second base. It's going to send a runner home. Coming in to score is going to be McKinney. Moving up to third is going to be Sanders with some nice base running. And moving up to second as they try to get that runner at home is Lauren Gross. You heard me say it. These aren't your typical 7, 8, 9 hitters on either side of the lineup. So if you're Maddie Jones, most teams when you face 7, 8, 9, it might be a little bit of a break. But with Beal City, it goes single, hit by pitch, RBI single. Now there's runners at second and third. Still nobody out with Lauren Licari at the plate. Licari hits this one right off of third base. What a shot there. She will be safe over at first base. And that's going to have me move the camera right there a little bit as Coach Kelly comes out to check on his youngster there. Just going to kind of zoom in over here at the Student Activity Center for a moment as they check on the player. But another run is in for Beal City. Sanders coming in from third base. Gross moving up to third base with her second single of the day. It's Lauren Licari. This one good for an RBI as well. It's now 2-0 Beal City. Clare with a run in the bottom of the second. The Aggies able to answer right back with two here in the third. And what a shot there from Lauren Licari. A whole lot tougher than I am as Pam Allen is. I think that one might have hit her in the thigh. She's going to try and work out that Charlie horse to see if she can stay in at third base. Put the action back on to kind of full view of the field here now. 2-1 the score. Allen much, much tougher than I am. She is going to tough it out. She is definitely going to need some ice tonight to take care of that one. Should be ready for districts next week. I believe Clare actually has a matchup Monday as well, too, to get ready for the playoffs. 2-1 our score. Runners at the corner. Still nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Beal gave up one in the bottom of the second. Now answering right back here in the third with a pair of runs. Still nobody out. Runners at the corners. At the plate is Madison Fisher. Fisher shows bunt. Quick throw down to third base to try and get that lead runner back safely is Gross. Moving up to second base is the pinch runner for Lauren Licari. Fisher batting from the right side. Now with two runners in scoring position. Nobody out. He's going to foul this one back off the netting. 0-2 the count. Fisher playing out in left field for the Lady Aggies. Maddie Jones now ahead in the count, 0-2. Could waste one here, try and bounce it in there to get him a chase, but you got to be careful not to let it get by the catcher. This one will be fouled off. Fisher didn't want to let that one go by her. Wasn't sure if it was going to be a ball or a strike, so she stays alive. 2-1 is the score. We're in the top of the third inning. Lady Aggies lead Clare. Clare put up one in the bottom of the second. Beal has answered back with two here in the top of the third inning. High school softball from Margot Yonker Field. Going to send this one home. Out at home is Gross, and now they've got a pickle in between second and third. What a fantastic play by Maddie Jones. Now they're looking to chase down the runner. Kelly will. There's two outs. That runner will move up to second, but what a play started by Maddie Jones. Trying to think of how you'd score that one. 1, 2, 6, maybe? Yeah. Nonetheless, though, Maddie Jones gets all the credit. What I'm going to write is my box score is double play pitcher, because that little hesitation that she had was everything. Trying to run home was Lauren Gross, and as that hesitation for Maddie Jones, I think Gross thought that she was going to go to first base for the sure out. Gross started to go home, so she threw it home to the catcher, Buzelli. It was an easy tag, and then caught in between second and third was either Lakari or the pinch runner for Lakari. 2-1 the score. That's going to be over for strike 2 to Emily Taylor. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. 2-1 the score. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. But there was 2 runs across, runners at the corners for Beal City. Actually, it ended up being runners at second and third, pardon me, for Madison Fisher. Then the double play action happened. 1-2 the count. That one to the outside part of the plate for Taylor. She'll let it go by. Taylor, the all-time home run leader in a single season for the Lady Aggies. Again, if that had been, the fence had been moved in a couple years, here come a liner up the middle. Kelly, what a play! Over to first in time for the out. That play, it might have gone through the legs of Madison Fisher. Somehow, Tessa Kelly was able to field it and get it over in time for the out to nab Emily Taylor at first base. You talk about the Bills' custom fabrication of the game. We got 2 fantastic plays in the field there to end that inning for Clare. You have the double play from Madison Fisher with a little hesitation, was able to get the lead runner at home. Then they were able to get the pickle in between second and third base for the double play. And then there was one hit right at the runner for Beal City. And Fisher kind of did a good job trying to block Kelly from being able to see that at all. Kelly was somehow able to get it in her glove, zing it over to first base in time for out number 3 of the inning. What a fantastic ball game this has been. Looked like Beal City was going to really have a big inning. They answer back and take the lead, but then the double play from Maddie Jones and the fantastic fielding play from Miss Tessa Kelly from the shortstop position has Clare out of an inning where when you look back, you're probably going to be happy you only gave up 2 runs. Now at the plate for the Lady Pioneers is going to be Savannah Buzelli, who already has done a great job today nabbing a runner out at second base. First one is going to miss. Buzelli, Wyman, then back to the top of the order with Alyssa Brandon. Big swing and a miss on that one. Macy Johnston really has that off-speed working fantastic here. Again, I am not a pitching expert. You'll hear me say pull the string, take a little bit off of it and whatnot when it comes to the softball pitching. Here comes the 1-1 for Macy Johnston. This one's going to be roped past the shortstop for a single for Savannah Buzelli. Leadoff single for Buzelli. Now stepping to the plate is Kylie Wyman. And very similar to our Lauren Gross, who just had an RBI single, this isn't your typical number 9 hitter with Kylie Wyman stepping to the plate. She is somebody that's going to have the opportunity to play at the next level. Couple big practice swings for Wyman. The umpire making sure everybody's on the same page. A pinch runner coming in for Buzelli. Most of the year it's been her sister, Sophia. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. It's going to be high. They check that runner down at first base. And it's Macy Hensley in there running. Got dual track shot to the Clare guys here. Forgive me all that information. Sophia's going to be down at the track finals. This one's blasted by Wyman out towards left field. It's going to end up in foul territory. When that one came off the bat, it looked very, very dangerous. If he had some wind here carrying things to the outfield, that one, well, I guess it is kind of carrying a little bit towards center field, now blowing back in, so maybe that one got blown back in a bit. But great contact there for Wyman. Here comes the 1-1. She shows bunt now, and she puts it down. What a fantastic bunt from Wyman. It's going to get away from first base as well. They're going to round third. The tying run is going to come in to score with Hensley. Moving up to third base is going to be Kylie Wyman. Coming all the way around to score as well. Leave it with Buzelli in the box score. But Wyman with the RBI. We're going to call it a single. But it turns into a triple on the throwing error. Now we're back to the top of the order with Alyssa Brandon. I said it before the game. I'll say it again. When you get to 7, 8, and 9 with these two teams, it's still just as good as 1, 2, 3. And that's where the last few runs have come from. 2 from the bottom of the order for Beal. 2 from the bottom of the order now, or 1 from the bottom of the order here in Clare. First pitch to Alyssa Brandon is going to be over for a strike. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. Now a big moment here. Clare has tied it back up. Runner at third, still nobody out. High fly ball or a ground ball deep into the infield here will score that runner from third base. This one will be fouled off. Macy Johnston has struck out 4 through the first 2 innings. She would love to get another punch out here with nobody out in that runner at third base. We're tied at 2 here in bottom of the third inning. 30 win Clare, 30 win Beal City. Trying to get Brandon to chase on that one was Macy Johnston. He'll stay outside. Update coming from the baseball diamond. It's 1-0 Beal City, and they've got the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the third inning. This one's going to be hit towards third. It'll be deep enough to score that run. They do get the out at first base. A nice stretch over there at first base from Beal City to get that out from Emma Block. But the runner comes in. Wyman with the RBI single. She now comes in to score. And again, I'm going to rule that in my box score as a sacrifice RBI for Alyssa Brandon. Here comes Addie McMillan. 1 out here in the top of their bottom of the third inning. 3-2, the Lady Pioneers back in the lead. Scored 1 in the second, then gave up 2 in the top of the third. Have now answered back with 2 in the bottom of the third. First one's going to miss outside to McMillan. 1-0 the count. Here comes the 1-0. That's going to be over for a strike for Macy Johnston. Tessa Kelly on deck. She struck out her first time up as well, like McMillan. Imaginers probably could count it on one hand in their high school careers that they've had back-to-back strikeouts. There's another swing and a miss there for McMillan. The off-speed stuff really working for Macy Johnston. Johnson steps back into the middle of the circle, ready with the 1-2. That's going to miss. High and outside. 2-2 now the count. Johnston winds and deals with the 2-2. It's going to be grounded towards short. Nice play over at third base. It's going to be in time for the out. Sanders with a nice job fielding there. If that would have gone into the hole at short, might have been time for the speedy McMillan to get to first base. Tessa Kelly now stepping to the plate. 3-2 is the score here in the bottom of the third inning. Beal City, Clare. 2 30-win teams matching up here at the end of the regular season. And I can't imagine there was a whole lot of times in MHSA history that you've had 2 30-win teams match up in the regular season. Kelly's going to foul this one out of play. Johnston back into the middle of the circle, the back of the circle. Now she steps into the middle of the circle to the rubber. Gets ready to wind and deal with the 0-1 to Kelly. She's going to bounce that one in there. Nice job by Lakari keeping that in front of her. Bring it up again. Heard it yesterday. It's tightly packed infield, more so than high school, so it's going to bounce around on the catcher a little bit more than they're used to. Nice job by Lakari keeping that one in front of her. 1-1 the count. It's going to be hit up the middle for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Tessa Kelly with the single. It's going to bring Maddie Jones to the plate. Talk about the Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, or Gates Drilling and Service, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply Drill of the game. It was the double from Maddie Jones back in the second inning, went all the way to the wall out in right center field. Runner at first, 2 outs. Kelly getting ready to take off from first base. Swing and a miss for Jones. Saying Kelly, 1 foot on the bag, another foot behind it, ready to sprint away from first base if the ball squirts away from Lakari just a little bit. This one's going to be fouled off. Now 0-2 the count to Maddie Jones. 3-2 our score here in the bottom of the third inning. Oh and 2 is the count to Maddie Jones. Johnson steps back into the circle, winds and deals. This one will be grounded towards third. Another nice play from Sanders. It's over in time for the out. But Clare does answer back with a pair of runs. They take the lead back. 3-2 is our score as we're headed to the fourth inning. This one is going to be as good as advertised. Clare, Beal City, back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, just like our student athletes, they bring it. If you need sand or gravel, they bring it to you with fast service and a great price. For all of your sand and gravel needs, call Central Michigan Sand and Gravel today at 989-382-7089. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, a proud supporter of our student athletes competing for their schools. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. 3-2, Clare with the lead. Update from the baseball field. Beal City baseball is up 4-0 on Clare, heading to the middle of the third inning there. We're in the top of the fourth inning here. Clare leads it here 3-2. At the plate for the Aggies is the cleanup hitter, Emma Block. It's 4-5-6. Due up and brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial, the Bird All-American Grill, and Bill's Custom Fab. Emma Block, Dakota Dodak, and Macy Johnston. They went 1-2-3 back in the second inning. 2 strikeouts and a fly out to center field. First pitch to Emma Block is going to miss. 1-0 the count. Jones winds and deals. That one's going to miss outside. 2-0. Block steps back in. 3-2 the score. Clare with the lead here in the top of the fourth inning. Block's going to line this one right by third base. There was no play for Pam Allen to make. It is a line single there for Emma Block to lead off the fourth inning. Stepping to the plate now, Dakota Dodak. And Ariana Brown will be back in districts for Beal City. Another one of the top bats for the Lady Aggies. Did some damage to, I believe it was her ankle, Coach Johnston said, but she should be back in time for playoff action. 3-2 the score. Clare with the lead, but Beal now threatening again with the leadoff run around here in the top of the fourth inning. Dakota Dodak at the plate. And it does look like we got some pitching warming up over there as well for Clare. Or pardon me, for Beal City. This one's going to be fouled down the first baseline, out of play from Dodak. Block at first base. Dodak at the plate. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Maddie Jones winds and deals. Dodak shows bunt, tries to send it down the first baseline, but it'll go foul out of play. Now 2 strikes. That'll take the bunt out of the hands of the speedy center fielder, Dakota Dodak. 0-2 the count for Jones. That runner at first base, again, do you want to try and put something in the dirt here to get her to chase, but then it's a little danger of maybe that runner taking second base. We'll see. Here comes the 0-2 from Jones. That one will be fouled off. We'll do it again. Macy Johnston on deck. She had a really hard hit ball out to center field. It was a great play from Addie McMillan to come up with the catch. You don't want her coming up with a couple runners on, I feel like, if you're Coach Kelly and Clare. Buzelli is ready behind the dish for the 0-2. Somebody fouled off once again from Dodak. So we pitch number 5 of the at-bat upcoming here, and the count remains 0-2. Block trots back to first base. Stepping back into the right side is Dodak. Here comes the 0-2 from Maddie Jones. This one's going to be sent really high down the right field line. It's going to be out of play, not a chance for Forsberg to make a play. So that is the third foul ball on an 0-2 count here for Dodak. We have pitch number 6 of the at-bat coming up. The count remains 0-2. I think that just talks to how tough each one of these lineups are here. You got the number 5 hitter. If you're Maddie Jones, every strike you're trying to throw by her right now, you just can't get a by her. She's just battling, battling, and battling. That one will miss low. I do not mind that location at all, though, from Maddie Jones in the circle. She's falling off everything. Got to try and get her to chase something here. Then you change that location, go low and inside. Now maybe you try and get that high outside corner, and you're able to get the strikeout here. And it will be strike 3 on the low inside part of the plate. Big-time punch out there for Maddie Jones. That is her third of the afternoon. Macy Johnson now stepping to the plate. 1 out, runner at first base here in the top of the 4th inning. Clare leads it 3-2. Johnston, her first time up. First pitch she saw, she flew out to center field. It's a very well-hit ball, though. She's going to swing at this first one, too, right at second base. Not an easy play for Alyssa Brandon. Falling down, going to second base was Emma Block. And she's kind of stretching things out there to make sure she is okay. And again, another player down here. That is no good. We're going to kind of zoom things in on the scoreboard here for just a minute. 3-2 is the score here. Now going to be 2 out, I believe, after Block was tagged out. She just kind of came up, the non-contact injury there, going from first to second base. You hope she's able to stretch it out and everything is okay. Unless Clare heads off, yeah, that would be the third out there. And so we will be headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 3-2 is the score here as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. See if Clare is able to get something going here. And Block is up and trotting off the field in good shape, or at least better shape than this guy is in his old age. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning. Clare leads it 3-2 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan, want to toss the ball around?
No, thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies! Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Clare Pioneers at the plate. Pam Allen will be leading things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It does look like we have a new pitcher in the circle for Beal City. Pitching for the Aggies is now Hayden McLaughlin. And I got the Game Changer baseball game pulled up. We'll switch it to the softball game and kind of get where everybody's at in the field. That one's going to chop up first base a little bit, but they're still able to get the out. What a play from Macy McKinney at second base, covering her teammate at first base, Emma Block. What a play. Again, it's just a ground out to first base or second base in the box score there, but it got away from first base. McKinney, exactly where she should be on the play, is able to back it up and still get that out. That is textbook baseball right there. This one's going to be hit towards third by Campbell. It'll go foul. Campbell's first time up, she had to sacrifice RBI to score the first run of the game. Update from the baseball field. Bottom of the third inning, the bases are loaded for the Pioneers with just one out, and the ever-dangerous Orion Louch at the plate. That'll be strike two to Campbell. As I talked about pulling up the softball and game changer with the bases loaded for the Pioneer boys, we'll leave it up there to continue to update you from what's going on at Tennyson Stadium. That one's going to be fouled by Campbell. Pitch number 4 of the at-bat coming up here. Count remains 0-2. Breeze Yarger is on deck. She struck out her first time up. A new pitcher in the circle for Beal City. Curveball is going to come up a little short there. 1-2 now the count to Campbell. 3-2 is our score here. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Pioneers lead the Aggies here at Margot Yonker Stadium. 30-6 Beal City, 30-1 Clare. This one's going to be hit hard towards short. Taylor's not going to be able to make the play. Campbell's going to be on with a single. That one was just absolutely roped. And again, that could have a little bit to do with that infield. Just takes that hard hop. It's able to get into the outfield for a single for Morgan Campbell. Breeze Yarger now stepping up to the plate. Behind her is Savannah Buzelli, who singled. Behind her is Kylie Wyman, who had an RBI single. This one's going to be hit towards third. Not an easy play for Sanders. She looks to get that lead runner. She does. What a play from Addison Sanders at third base. Get that lead runner. So now there's 2 outs. That runner at first base, Yarger. This one's going to be hit, foul down the third base line. Buzelli at the dish, 2 outs, runner on first base, 3-2, Clare with the lead. Great play moments ago from Addison Sanders to get that lead runner at second base for the second out. Had to think very, very quickly to make that play. Here's a grounder. This one's going to get by the shortstop position as well. Also gets by left field. That's going to allow a run to come all the way in for first base. Fantastic job by Breeze Yarger, hustling all the way. She reached via the fielder's choice, but she is going to come around to score. Buselli's now on second base. The RBI single there. And she's able to move up to second as it gets by the fielder out in left field. It is now 4-2 Clare with the lead. Kylie Wyman stepping back to the plate. She had an RBI single her last time up in the third inning. We're here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's now 4-2 Clare with the lead. Couple errors now hurting Beal City in the field. Scoreboard for Beal City has 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors. For Clare, it's 4 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Comes the pitch from McLaughlin. It's hit hard by Wyman out towards left field. Not an easy play. Fisher is able to gather underneath it to make the play. Wyman put a charge into it, but it was right at a fielder. We're headed to inning number 5. It is 4-2. Clare is able to kind of manufacture a run, or you could say get a run there from some not great defense from Beal City in the field. 4-2 is the score. Heading to inning number 5 with 30-win Clare and 30-win Beal City. We'll be back with more right after this, including another update from the baseball field here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 4-2 is the score. Macy Johnston is back at the dish. That first one to her is going to miss inside. Or it is in for a strike, pardon me. And pardon me, it is McKinney at the plate out there. She always has that helmet that has 27 on the back of it, which always throws me for a little bit of a loop. So it looks like the 21 for teammate Macy Johnston. But here we are, top of the fifth inning, 0-2 the count. That one's going to bounce in there for Maddie Jones. 1-2 now the count to Macy McKinney. Four to 2 the score over at the baseball field. Clare battling back now against the Aggies. Going down on strikes is Macy McKinney. Excellent pitch there from Maddie Jones. She has now struck out 4. Addison Sanders stepping to the plate. She was hit by a pitch and came around to score her first time up. 4-2 is the score here in the top of the fifth inning. Clare Pioneers with the 2-run lead. They scored 1 in the third, or pardon me, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. The Aggies have gone zeros except for the third inning when they put 2 runs across. That one's going to be fouled off by Sanders down the first base line. Lauren Gross on deck. She had an RBI single her last time up in the third inning. 1 out, top of the fifth inning. 2 30-win teams battling it out here as they get ready for playoff action next week. Trying to take a bit off of that one is Maddie Jones, but it misses high and outside. 1-1 the count. Sanders looks down to Coach Johnston on the third baseline, steps back into the box on the right side. This one's going to be hit foul down the first baseline, counting now 1-2 to Sanders. So a great job at third base for the Lady Aggies here this afternoon. Here comes the 1-2. That one's just going to miss on the outside. 2-2 the count. Excellent eye there by Addison Sanders. Got to be hard to let that one go by. Maddie Jones has the signal from Buzelli behind the dish. Steps into the middle of the circle. Winds and deals. Going to be fouled off once again by Sanders. Count will remain 2-2. Nice job battling here by Addison Sanders. And her first time up, she was hit by a pitch, and she was able to come around and score. Here comes the 2-2. That's going to miss inside. It'll run the count full. Be pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here for Addison Sanders, the number 8 hitter for Beal City. But again, these aren't your typical 7, 8, 9 hitters on either side of the ball. This one's going to be hit towards second. It'll get by for a single. Addison Sanders is now 1 for 1 on the day. She's already got a run scored. She came around being hit by a pitch. Now here comes Lauren Gross to the plate. She's 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in inning number 3. 1 out, 4-2 is the score here in the top of the fifth inning. The Aggies with a runner on first base. Maddie Jones continues to be terrific in the circle for the Pioneers. Another update coming from the baseball field. It's now 4-2 at the end of the third inning. Beal City with the lead over Clare over at Tennyson Stadium. We're here at Margot Yonker Stadium on CMU's campus. Top 5, 4-2. Comes a liner out to center field. Nice job by McMillan being in the right spot, tracking over just a bit to make the catch. Again, good contact there for Lauren Gross. But when you got 9 fielders out there, it can be tough. Now 2 outs, runner at first base. We're back to the top of the order for Lauren Licari, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Looks like Maddie Jones is going to come out of the game now. So we will have a pitching change coming in for Clare. So we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have more action. Beal City, Clare softball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the fifth generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Thanks to coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Kylie Wyman stepping into the circle for the Lady Pioneers with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. At the plate is Lauren Licari. At first base is Addison Sanders. Wyman zings that first one in there for strike 1 to Licari. I believe when it comes to Clare, Wyman and Jones are going to be your number 1, your number 2. When it comes to Beal, kind of got a bunch of different girls that I've seen pitch this year. 0-2 now the count as Wyman continues to turn up the gas. I've seen Gross pitch. I've seen Johnston pitch. I've seen Dodak pitch. And we now got McLaughlin out there. This one's going to be fouled back over the press box out of play. Count will remain 0-2 to Lauren Licari. Licari looks down third baseline, has a sign from Coach Johnston. Wyman brings the 0-2. That one's just going to miss high. 1-2 now the count to Lauren Licari. Licari 2 for 2 on the day. The single. Her pinch runner got caught trying to steal back in the first inning, and then she had an RBI single in the third before she was stranded. 4-2 the score. She's going to pop this one foul, so stay alive once again. Pitch number 6 of the at-bat upcoming here for Lauren Licari. 1-2 remains the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Clare leads Beal City 4-2. Clare is the number 1 ranked team in D3. Beal is the number 2 ranked team in D4. That one's going to miss outside. Pioneer fans wanted that call. They're not able to get it. Licari holds the bat over the back right shoulder, batting from the right side. Both teams out there in the all black today. That one's going to miss high and outside, 3-2. We have pitch number 8 of the at-bat upcoming here for Lauren Licari. Get back to the jerseys. Got the all black with the green lettering for the Pioneers. The all black with the blue and white lettering for the Aggies. That one's going to bounce in there. It'll be a walk for Licari. They'll bring Madison Fisher to the plate with a pair of runners on. Sanders now at second base. Licari at first base. We will have a pinch runner coming in for her. Coming in to run for the Lady Aggies is going to be Aubrey Thielen. More love going out to our friends. Woods Household Appliance, a Weefrich Financial, Clark Modular Homes, the Bird All-American Grill, Bill's Custom Fab, along with Gates Drilling and Service. And you know we're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios built by Conwincy Construction. Much love to our friends at J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, along with GNS Mechanical. Umpires making sure they've got everything official in the scoring column. There's 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second for Beal City. At the plate is the number 2 hitter, Madison Fisher. Runners at first and second base. On the mound is Kylie Wyman. Madison Fisher on the day. And to pop out to third base in the first inning. And back in the third, a hard hit ball right back to Maddie Jones, where she made a great play to turn a double play to help close. Well, start to close out that third inning where Beal City had already put across 2 runs. There was nobody out when she made that double play and runners on the corner. She got the runner trying to go home, and then they got the pickle in between second and third base. So far, that is the Bills' custom fabrication of the game. That was going to miss outside. Quick throw down to first base. Diving back in time is Aubrey Thielen, who's in running for Lauren LeCarby. 2-0 now the count to Madison Fisher. Wyman steps back in. Zings it in there. That one's just going to miss low. Looked like a really good location from Wyman, but just missing the low part of the strike zone. 3-0 now the count. Emily Taylor's on deck. She's grounded out to shortstop. Both of her times up. That one over for a strike. 3-1 now the count to Madison Fisher. Four to 2 the score. Clare with the lead over Beal City. Swing and a miss. Turning up the cheese on that one, or turning up the heat, the high cheese on that one from Kylie Wyman. The count is now ran full, 3-2. Runners at first and second for Beal City with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Number 2 hitter, Madison Fisher, at the dish. Here comes the 3-2. Ooh, it's just going to miss for ball 4, much to the chagrin of the Clare faithful. Ooh, boy. That was a really, really close call. I'm even getting the yee from the AD of Beal City. That will load the bases for Emily Taylor. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The bases are loaded. Taylor going for the home run swing on the first pitch. Wyman turns up the gas and sends it by her. What a moment here in this ball game right now. There's 2 outs. The bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th inning. Clare leads it 4-2, but the all-time home runs leader for Beal City is at the plate. What a moment here in this game as Coach Clare heads out to the circle. And you often hear me say that the officials, they've got the best view in the house, brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. If Emily Taylor gets a hit here, it's going to be really hard if you're a Clare fan not to be frustrated that you didn't get that call moments ago with Madison Fisher taking ball 4 that looked like it was right down the Broadway. 0-1 the count to Taylor. Steps back out. Wyman back into the circle. She winds and deals. This one's going to be fouled off the backstop. Emma Block is on deck. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Bases are loaded for Emily Taylor. There's 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. 4-2, Clare with the lead. And she's 1 home run shy of tying her all-time home runs record. She's going to foul that one off to stay alive. Count remain 0-2. I always got to give a tip of the cap to my homegirl, Paige Antcliffe, because that fence had been moved back in. She might have hit 30 her senior year. 0-2 the count to Taylor. Wyman digs. That one's going to miss low. 1-2 the count. Good eye there from Taylor. Not easy to take a pitch when you're down 0-2 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Taylor batting from the left side. Digs in. Wyman winds, deals. This one's going to be popped out towards left field. Charging in to make the play is Maddie Jones. Getting out of the inning, leaving the bases full. Oh, are the Aggies. What a play there out in left field. Not easy for Maddie Jones to come in and make that play. And what a job by Kylie Wyman to get out of the inning there against one of the best hitters all time for Beal City softball. 2 up for the Lady Pioneers in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the top of the order, 1, 2, 3 with Alyssa Brandon, Addie McMillan, and Tessa Kelly. We'll keep our broadcast right here. Thank our friends, the Bird All-American Grill, the sponsor of our post-game show. The only place you'll ever find this guy post-gaming is the Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. Much love also going out to Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Clark Modular Homes, Weefridge Financial, and Woods Household Appliance. I did this yesterday. I'm going to do it again. the records for the 6 softball teams that I cover in this area, it's just insane. Sacred Heart would now be 25-7 after yesterday. Beal is 30-6. Clare is 30-1. Ithaca going into yesterday was 28-6. Mount Pleasant going into yesterday was 24-9. Shepherd going into yesterday was 22-12. I've said it a few times that we could have 6. No, we can't have 6 district champions with those local schools because Clare and Beal City are going to battle it out next year. Here comes a leadoff double for Allison Brandon down the right field line. Actually, she's going for 3, and she'll be in with a stand-up triple. Allison Brandon had a sacrifice RBI her last time up. Now she leads off the bottom of the 5th inning with a 3-bagger for the Pioneers. And that'll bring Addie McMillan to the plate, who can score a run with a deep ground ball or a high fly ball out to the outfield. Alyssa Brandon, the last time I saw her, she hit one out to right center that almost went onto the roof of the turf field beyond the softball field out in Clare at Brookwood Park. She puts a blast into this one, and McMillan's going to drive her in right away. She now sends one out to the left field corner. So one to the right field corner, now one to the left field corner. It's a triple, it's a double back-to-back for Clare, and they now lead it 5-2 after the big RBI double from Addie McMillan. Tessa Kelly will now step up to the dish. She singled her last time up and was stranded there in the 3rd inning. 5-2 now the score. Clare scoreless in the 1st, but 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and already another here in the 5th. Runner at second base with nobody out. The first one is going to miss to Tessa Kelly, 1-0. To the senior shortstop, the all-sports star for the Lady Pioneers. Jumping away from second base, trotting back was McMillan, waiting for the pass ball to try and take third base. 2-0 the count. Kelly steps back in. McLaughlin winds, deals. That one's going to stay high. 3-0 now the count to Kelly. Maddie Jones on deck. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a double and a run scored. You think about that. Gates Drilling and Service, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply drill of the game. Back-to-back now, a triple and a double for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kelly ahead in the count 3-0. We'll see if she's got the green light here, if she's taking all the way. She does have the green light. She chops it out to short. It's not an easy play at the high bounce. Safe all the way at first base is Tessa Kelly. I'm going to give her credit for the single. And Dad, Shane Kelly, letting his daughter swing away there at 3-0. Wonder if they'd do that at a conference game and make a joke to him about that. But it's now 5-2 Clare. Runners at first and second for the Lady Pioneers with a cleanup hitter, Maddie Jones, at the plate. Chance for Clare to open this one up here a little bit in the bottom of the 5th inning. They've already got a three-run lead, but they are now threatening. Runners at first and second, and your cleanup hitter, Maddie Jones, at the dish. Beal just left the bases loaded moments ago, too, as well. Be good to note. So one's hit towards third, looking for the double play is Sanders, and she gets it at third and first. And it's going to get away as they try and get Kelly stealing away from second. It'll get to the outfield. That'll allow another run to come in. But the double play, what a job from Addison Sanders at third base. But another run does come across here in Tessa Kelly. A double play there going against Maddie Jones. Now Pam Allen will step up to the plate with nobody on, but it is now 6-2 Clare with the lead. And it's going to be Macy Hensley now stepping up to the plate, hitting for Pam Allen. Big shout out there to Mr. Wyman for hooking me up with that quick substitution there. And being here at Central Michigan University, I think want to make sure all these youngsters get the opportunity out there. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Clare with another 2 runs across. They lead at 6-2 over Beal City. It's the number 1 ranked team in D3 in Clare and the number 2 ranked team in D4 in Beal City. It's been as good as advertised here at Margot Yonkers Stadium. 5 errors now for the Lady Aggies have really cost them in this one. You go back to the last time they played here at Margot Yonkers Stadium was last year in the state quarterfinals, and it was errors that cost them there as well. But that's why you want to play this type of game before you head into the playoffs. This one's going to be popped up into foul territory. What a play by Lacari as she runs into the netting, making the catch, getting Hensley to go down on the pop-out to the catcher. But we are headed to inning number 6. It's Emma Block, Dakota Dodak, and Macy Johnston due up, brought to you by our friends at Beal's Custom Fab, at Gates Drilling and Service, and Barbary Law. But Clare, the number 1 team in D3, looking like it. They lead it 6-2 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We're going to keep things right here during this break. Much love going out to our friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Hiring bus drivers, also need parapros and substitute teachers. And yeah, I know the year is winding down, but you can still get started for next year. I'll be substitute teaching again next year. Not a bad way to make an extra little bit of coin for this guy. Not a bad way to get to know some of the youngsters that I'm covering in high school football, volleyball, basketball in the winter, and here with baseball and softball in the summer. 6-2 is the score here, heading to inning number 6 with the Lady Pioneers and the Lady Aggies. Update coming from the baseball field. It is 5-3. The bases are now loaded full of Pioneers as well in the bottom of the 4th inning with 1 out and Dana Alexander at the plate. We'll continue to keep you updated there. Kylie Wyman back in the circle. A fantastic job staying calm out there. The last time she was out there, she surrendered a walk to Madison Fisher it was a tough call if you were in the circle. I will just say that. But she stayed calm and got Emily Taylor to pop out to left field with the bases loaded to strand 3 runners in inning number 5. And at that point, it was 4-2 Clare. It is now 6-2 Clare. And Beth Block is now in the game, hitting for the Lady Aggies in place of Emma Block. And so again here, with playing at CMU, want to make sure all these youngsters get opportunities here. Top of the 6th inning, 6-2 is the score. Block's going to go down swinging. Great job by Wyman turning up the gas, the high heat there. Not able to catch up with it was Beth Block. Dakota Dodak now stepping up the center fielder. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. 6-2 is the score. Top of the 6th inning. Clare with the lead over Beal City. And with the 4 o'clock start, I got to double check, but some of these games, they only play 6. Most of them, they play 7. Double check on that as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Actually, as I say that, if Beal doesn't get 4 runs here, that would be it. But we'll find that out all together here. That one's also going to miss for Dodak. 1-0 the count. Dodak steps back in, trying to get a rally going here for Beal City. She's going to swing through that one. Talking with, even Coach Johnston at the beginning of the year and some others in the mid-Michigan area, I'd heard a lot about Kylie Wyman, but haven't seen her pitch because Maddie Jones, the senior, is usually in the circle. Very, very impressed with what I've seen from here just in the inning and a half or so that she's been out there. And again, I go back to the moment where it's a full count to Madison Fisher. You feel like you throw strike 3, Madison Fisher is going to go down looking to end the inning. Instead, it's ball 4. You load the bases for Emily Taylor. How do you respond? You get the count to 1-2, foul ball for Emily Taylor, and then you get her to pop out to left field. Big time out there from Wyman in the circle. Count now 2-2 to Dodak. Macy Johnston due up next for the Lady Aggies. Strike 3, she goes down on strikes. Now back-to-back punch-outs here for Kylie Wyman. Macy Johnston now stepping to the dish, batting from the right side. 6-2 is the score here in the top of the 6th inning. Clare leads. Update coming from the baseball field. It's now 5-4. Clare coming back. They've got runners at the corners with 2 outs and Ryan Lauch at the plate. Blake Walcott on the mound for the Aggies over there at Tennyson Stadium. Back here to Margot Yonker Field. There's 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 6th inning with Macy Johnston at the plate. She's going to take strike 1. Kylie Wyman has already had back-to-back strikeouts to start inning number 6 here. Wyman winds deal. Swinging through that one is Macy Johnston. And with nobody on base here, you can maybe waste 1 or 2 if you're Wyman. trying to get Johnston to chase. Here comes the 0-2. This one will be fouled back. Johnston just staying alive there. And Beal City does get out of the inning at the end of 4 over at Tennyson Stadium. Beal City baseball leads Clare baseball 5-4. Back here to Margot Yonkers Stadium, we're in the top of the 6th inning at 6-2. Clare with the lead. Macy Johnston's not going to chase that one. It gets away from her. 1-2 now the count. Johnson takes her time, kind of gets that focus before she steps back into the box on the right side. Here comes the 1-2. We fouled off. Johnston staying alive once again. Count remain 1-2, but that's the second foul ball for Johnston. On deck, Macy McKinney. Wyman sends in the 1-2. That's just going to miss outside. 2-2 now the count. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat here for Macy Johnston. Top of the 6th inning. 6-2 is the score. At-bat, Macy Johnston. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. That'll be strike 3 down the middle. Wyman strikes out the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning, or the top of the 6th inning. Right to the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-2 is the score here. What a fantastic performance in the circle. Starting things off with Maddie Jones, and now Kylie Wyman has taken over. Been a very, very dominant performance from the Lady Pioneers in the circle, only giving up 2 runs to this very, very powerful Beal City Aggie offense. Might be another pitching change out there for Beal City. Say, all right, end of the 4th inning over at Tennyson Stadium, 5-4 Beal City boys with the lead. We're now going to head out of there for the game changer to kind of get you updated on what's going down here on our ball field to get that rolling back correctly. 6-2 is the score. Right at the bottom of the 6th inning, Clare already with the lead, seeing if they can add to that total. It's 30-1 Clare, the number 1 ranked team in Division III, versus 30-6 Beal City, the number 2 ranked team in Division IV. And I feel like Unionville-Sebewing is number 1 in D4 by reputation and well-deserved, but the record on the year is something like 18-10. So it's kind of surprising to me that Beal isn't the number 1 team in Division IV. And heading into the circle for the Lady Aggies will be Lauren Gross here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-2 is the score. Beal City put up 2 in the 3rd. It's been all zeros other than that. Clare has only been held scoreless in the 1st inning. They put up 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th to build their 6-2 lead here over Beal City at Margot Yonkers Stadium. In game number 1 of 2 on the campus of CMU today for these teams as they gear up for districts next week. Say Clare will have Everett to deal with in districts. Beal City is going to have a pair of really tough teams to possibly deal with in the Vesterberg Wolverines and the Sacred Heart Academy Irish. First pitch for Lauren Gross is going to miss outside to Morgan Campbell, 1-0. They've been due up for the Lady Pioneers. It's Campbell, it's Yarger, it's Buzzelli. We'll see if there's any other changes for these teams. It seems like a lot of these coaches want to get a lot of these youngsters out to play here. Campbell with a hard shot line down the right field. It's just going to go foul. That would have been trouble right there. Last time Campbell came up, she singled, got out on a fielder's choice. 1-1 the count here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-2 is the score. Lady Pioneers with the lead over the Lady Aggies. This one's going to be fouled off the backstop by Campbell. 30-1 versus 30-6. What a battle with these two teams here today. See, and as you see some of those pitching changes come in, some substitutions coming in a bit more of an exhibition game. Liner right up the middle. What a job by Gross to knock it down. Then the throw over to first base is a little wide. That is going to be error number 6 going against Beal City here today. And the old Spockman box score, we're going to rule that a single, and she moves up to second base as well. But that has been the difference in the ball game right now. If I were to zoom in on that scoreboard, it's 2 runs on 5 hits for Beal City. They've committed 6 errors. Clare has 6 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 1 error. That is the difference in the game right now. 4 runs and 5 errors. Yarger stepping in. First one's going to miss, 1-0. Savannah Buzelli on deck. Kylie Wyman behind her. Gross winds and deals. That one's just going to miss, 2-0. Seems like you want to hit the high part of the strike zone instead of the low part of the strike zone. Those umpires out there doing a fantastic job. They've all got that little bit of a different strike zone. 2-0 the count. That one's going to miss high. 3-0 now the count to Breeze Yarger. Yarger technically 0 for 2 on the day, but with a run scored as she reached via fielder's choice and came around to score back in the 4th inning for Clare. Here comes the 3-0. Yarger taking all the way, and it'll be ball 4 inside. So now runners at first and second here for Clare. There's nobody out. 6-2 is the score. If you're Clare, you can get another insurance run or 2 here. You're going to feel really, really good coming out in the top of that 7th inning. Again, both of these teams have and are capable of putting up 8, 9, 10 runs in any inning. But with the pitching you've got from both these teams, it's going to be tough to do. 6-2 the score. Nobody out here. This one's going to be roped out to right field for Buzelli. Coming around third, speeding in to score is going to be Campbell. Start to think about that Zayda Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. Well, I've got Sylvia Buzelli 3 for 3 on the day with a pair of RBIs and a run score. So what a job from Savannah Buzelli. She also threw a runner out back in the 1st inning as well. And so when I think about that Zayd Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial, I think Savannah Buzelli is in the running right now. Kylie Wyman stepped up to the dish, who also should be in the running for that. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored and RBI, and she's also done a great job since she came in for Maddie Jones in the circle. Getting out of a very tough bases-loaded situation in the 5th, and then striking out the side in the top of the 6th inning. It's now 7-2, Clare with the lead over Beal City. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, there's still nobody out. Runners at first and second for Kylie Wyman. She's going to send a chopper out to shortstop. Nice play from Taylor. She's going to come in and field it and get the out. And I think they might also call an interference out as well. And so that's going to have the lead runner out. That runner at first base is still safe, even though she was thrown out here. We'll see what happens with Coach Johnston heading out right now. Again, that's a play that, even if I was able to bust out the rule book, I don't know if I would be able to find exactly how you call that situation. So you've got the interference out, but then she still is able to make the play. It was such a quick interference call, the umpire probably could have let it go, but Taylor was bumped a little bit as she was fielding that baseball. 7-2 is the score. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll see if it's 1 out. We'll see if it's 2 outs here. Nope, they're going to say that runner's still safe at first base. But that lead runner is out on the interference. And so a really strange way to rule that one. Wyman will be on via fielder's choice, moving up to second after her RBI single is Savannah Buzelli. We're back to the top of the order. 1 out, 2 runners on. Stepping up to the plate is Alyssa Brandon, who tripled to lead off the 5th inning. Was the pitch to Brandon. She's going to send this one down the right field line. It's going to go foul. So again, Zayd Batchelder, baller of the game. I'm looking at Buzelli, who's now 3 for 3, but Brandon's had a great day. She's 1 for 2 on the day, a run scored. She also had a sacrifice RBI. Swings through that one, counting now 0-2. On deck is Addie McMillan. She had an RBI double her last time up. Runners on first and second for Clare. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead at 7-2 over Beal City. Battle two of the top softball teams in the state here today. That one's going to be fouled down the first baseline, out of play. Beal City in the top of the 7th is going to have to score at least 5 at this point. We'll see if Clare can make it any more. Brandon takes that one. It's going to miss 1-2. Almost right down Broadway, but stayed high. Here comes the 1-2 from Gross. That's going to be on the inside corner for strike 3. Brandon goes down on strikes. Now here comes Addie McMillan with runners at first and second and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And if you're Beal City, it's going to be really tough to get those 5 runs back, but you want to make sure it's not 6 or 7. Make sure you get McMillan here at the plate if you're Gross. That one's going to bounce away from Clare. It was way outside. That will allow the runners to move up to second and third. So now I got Buzelli, or the pinch runner, in for Buzelli at third base. Runner at second base. Back to McMillan at the plate. 1-0 the count. That one's going to miss outside. Clare trying to frame it. Grows back into the middle of the circle. Winds and deals with the 2-0. McMillan's going to swing through it. 2-1 now the count. 7-2 is the score. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning. Clare leading Beal City here at Margot Yonker Stadium as both teams gear up for district play next week. Clare girls believe it's Reed City where they'll be at. Beal City will be down in Montebello. I will be down there next Friday for the district championship call. 3-1 now the count. Gross winds, deals. It's going to be ball 4. Misses that outside corner. And so that will now load the bases for Tessa Kelly, which is very, very dangerous. The number 3 hitter's 2 for 3 on the day. She's got a pair of singles. She has scored a run. 7-2 is the score. First pitch to Kelly. She's swinging away. It'll be fouled down the right field line, out of play. And towards the field hockey, soccer, multi-purpose field here on CMU's campus. And 5 runs isn't impossible for Beal City to get in the 7th, even against a really good pitcher like Kylie Wyman. But if you get a couple more added here from Kelly, hard hit ball towards third. Taylor with a nice play over to first in time for the out. What a play from Emily Taylor at her shortstop position. The score remains 7-2 heading to the top of the 7th inning. The Aggie Bats are really going to have to wake up. It's McKinney. It's Sanders. It's Gross. It's 7, 8, 9 to deal with Kylie Wyman when we come back to the top of the 7th inning. Beal City Beal City, Clare softball. Clare with a 7-2 lead heading to the top of the 7th inning. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Last opportunity here for the Lady Aggies. We are in the 7th inning. At the plate is Macy McKinney trying to start a rally that's going to need to be at least 5 runs for Beal City to stay in this game. Macy McKinney on the day is 1 for 2. She singled and scored one of the 2 runs for Beal City back in the 3rd inning. In the 5th inning, she went down on strikes. 2-0 the count to McKinney. Give you another update here coming from the baseball field in just a moment. Wyman checking that. I continue to call it a quarterback wrist because that's what it reminds me of, pitcher's wrist, to make sure she has the correct pitch. That one will be fouled off by McKinney, 2-1. All right, another update coming from the baseball field. End of the 5th inning. Beal City leads it 6-4 over at Tennyson Stadium. 7-2. Clare here with the lead on the softball field. Here comes the 2-1 from Wyman. This one's going to be fouled straight back over the press box. 2-2 now the count. In case you forgot, Kylie Wyman struck out the side in the 6th inning. Now looking for her 4th straight punch out here with McKinney. 2-2 count. We foul down the first baseline. Addison Sanders on deck. She's technically 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. She was hit by a pitch and scored back in the 3rd inning. She singled and was stranded with the bases loaded back in the 5th inning. That one's going to miss outside. It'll run the count full. 3-2 to McKinney. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here. Difference in this game, 6 errors committed by the Beal City defense. If you ask me, Clare would still probably be ahead 3-2, maybe 4-2 without those errors, but has made things a little bit easier for the Clare offense. High fly ball out to right field. Bringing it in is Olivia Forsberg. That's going to bring up Addison Sanders. Only 2 more outs for the Aggie offense to try and start the rally here. 7-2 is the score here in the top of the 7th inning. Clare on top of Beal City. A fantastic pitching performance by the combination of Maddie Jones and Kylie Wyman, only giving up 2 runs and 5 hits to this explosive Beal City Aggie offense. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch there from Addie Sanders. Lauren Gross, who's now pitching for the Aggies, is due up next in the number 9 spot. And then it's back to the top of the order if one of these ladies are able to get on. But there was strike 2 against Sanders. You think about what Kylie Wyman came into the game and had to deal with. Now what she's had to deal with, nobody on the last 2 innings. After getting out of that 5th inning, probably seems a little bit easy here in inning number 6 and 7. I believe she came in, it's either runners on the corners or runners on first and second. 7-2 is the count here, top of the 7th inning. Clare looking to close out a big victory against a local rival in Beal City. Both teams have already won 30 games on the year. Clare is 30-1 on the season. They made it to the state semifinals last year. This Beal City team was in the state quarterfinals last year. That'll be strike 3, strikeout number 4 for Kylie Wyman. Maddie Jones had also struck out 4, so that's 8 batters going down on strikes now for Beal City. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. The Aggies trail by 5. Lauren Gross at the plate, trying to turn it around back to the top of the order. Wyman looking to close it out here. First pitch is going to just miss inside. And some of these might look like they're inside, but they're right over the strike zone because these batters are kind of leaning right over the plate. The umpire is going to take a quick break, kind of dust off home plate. 1-0 the count to Gross. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. 7-2, Clare with the lead over Beal City. The number 1 team in D3 looking to best the number 2 team in D4. That one's going to miss. 2-0 the count to Gross. Lucario waits on deck. That'll be strike 1 on the inside corner. Nice location there from Kylie Wyman. Lucario has reached base all 3 times she's been at the plate with a couple singles and a walk. Big swing and a miss there from Lauren Gross. Wyman has already struck out 4. She would love to end the game here with a punch out. At bat is number 2. There's 2 balls. There's 2 strikes. There's 2 outs. As Aiden Mendel would say, it's a whole lot of 2s up there. Wyman turning up the heat on that one, but it goes low and gets by the catcher. We do have another update coming from some Shepherd softball action. Allison Curtis of the Bird, 17-4 over Hemlock. Whew. This one's going to be fouled down the first baseline. As I said, we could end up with 5 of the 6 teams that I cover winning district championships for softball. Clare's going to have to deal with Everett. Mount Pleasant's got some tough teams to deal with, but they could all walk away district champions. And then you got Sacred Heart and Beal City, who share a district with Vesterberg, one of the most loaded D4 districts there is. That'll be ball 4 to Lauren Gross. It'll sink it back to the top of the order for Beal City as they try and can't even manufacture runs at this point because you've got 2 outs. You've got to get the bats hot. You've got to get them hot in a hurry. And Lauren Lucari's been on base all 3 times she's been at the plate. Coach Johnston now with a quick timeout. I think he's going to get a pinch runner in for Lauren Gross. It's going to be Nevaeh Welsh that comes in to run for the Lady Aggies. There is 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th inning. The Aggies down to their final out. Lucari batting from the right side. This one's going to be pop foul. I almost had to get the hands out there and catch that one, but it went just high here of the press box. As they get the hands out, the guys here in the press box will probably just see me fumble trying to catch a softball, more like it. Wyman turns up the gas on that one. It's now 0-2 to Lucari. They got our Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up after this one. We'll talk about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game and all the great stuff that we have got coming up next week. That one will miss high. 1-2 now the count to Lucari. That's just going to miss low. Count now 2-2. Fisher waiting on deck, hoping she gets another opportunity. Swing and a miss. Going down on strikes is Lucari. That is strikeout number 5 for Kylie Wyman in like the 2 1/3 that she came in to pitch. A fantastic job by her coming in to close things out. 7-2 our final. Clare over Beal City. Clare moves to 31-1 on the year. Beal City falls to 30-7. But again, I think if I go back and look, I don't think they have any losses to any D4 opponents. That is where they'll be playing in the playoffs next week. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with a Bird All-American Grill postgame show to put a bow on this fantastic game. Clare 7, Beal City 2. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. comfortable mattresses that last for years, flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 7-2 our final. The Lady Pioneers victorious over the Lady Aggies. These two 30-win teams are going to battle it out here again at Margot-Yonker Stadium as they get ready for the playoffs next week. Next Tuesday, we will start our playoff coverage as the Beal City Aggies take on Coleman at the Sacred Heart Academy ball fields. Then Friday, we will be at Montebello for a 6 o'clock first pitch for the district championship game that could feature Vestaburg, could feature Beal City, could feature Sacred Heart Academy. I believe Coleman and Montebello also down there as well. And then Saturday, we will be at the ball fields for Sacred Heart Academy for a district championship in baseball action, which the two teams that will be heavily favored there will be Beal City and Sacred Heart Academy. And I have some thoughts, Buck 92 might be there as well to bring you that action with Beal City and Sacred Heart. If Clare and Shepherd shared a district, if Clare and Ithaca shared a district this year, we would definitely be there. But when we got two of those ultra locals, we got to make sure we are there for that action. Putting out that schedule here this weekend. But our final here today, 7-2, Clare victorious over Beal City in game number 1 of 2. Final thing to do is talk about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. And also think about that Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game and so much more. The play of the game, I'm actually going to give it to the double play back in the third inning. I believe he had runners on the corners, nobody out. Madison Fisher lined it right back to Maddie Jones. It was a great play by Maddie Jones just to field it, but then she was able to hesitate, get the lead runner at home. Then they were able to get the lead runner after that in a pickle from second to third base. So 2 runs had already come across. There was nobody out with runners on the corners, I believe it was, and it ended up being a fantastic double play from Maddie Jones. But our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, you can also call her the Webb Brothers Sawmill timber of the game, Hartford Oil and Gas Supply, Gates Drilling and Service drill of the game. Savannah Buzelli goes 3 for 3 at the dish. She scores a run. She has 2 RBI. She also throws out the lead runner back in the first inning for Beal City as Lauren Lakari led off the game with a hit. And so Savannah Buzelli, our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends Brian Weefrich and the crew at Weefrich Financial. Well, starting next week, playoff baseball, playoff softball. Ooh, boy, we are so excited. We also do have a Sacred Heart Academy Shepherd baseball matchup next Wednesday. I don't know if we'll broadcast that game or just maybe go have some fun there and do some highlights. But it all starts next week. Playoff baseball, playoff softball. As you heard me say, we could end up with 5 district champions for baseball and or softball in the mid-Michigan area. Make sure you join us for all the action here starting next Tuesday